I refer the Prime Minister to her unequivocal statement on Sunday and reiterated by Labor backbenchers today that every cent raised from pricing carbon will go to assisting households. How can the Prime Minister be trusted when the government entered into an agreement in December last year that requires the government to give a reported 10% of any carbon tax raised to a United Nations Climate Change Fund?
Order. Member for Banks. Order. Order. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Can I answer the Deputy Leader's question? She's asked me about how money raised from carbon pricing will be used. Can I refer her to what I said at the press conference last Thursday when I announced the carbon pricing mechanism? I said this: every cent raised from pricing carbon will go to assisting households, helping businesses manage the transition and funding climate change programs. And the government will always support those who are in need of assistance with cost of living pressures. That is where the money will go. And then, of course, when I was on a Sunday show on Sunday, I said this: I do want to be clear. Every cent raised from pricing carbon will go to assisting households, to helping businesses transition and to programs to tackle climate change, but the highest priority will be assisting households.
Prime Minister will resume her seat. Order. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition on a point of order.
Mr Speaker, the Prime Minister is referring to a quote she made on Thursday. I'm talking about what she said on Sunday and what every backbencher who did the doors today said about the
seat. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition will resume her seat. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition will resume her seat. Prime Minister is responding to the question. The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Can I say to the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, more broadly, I've got very little idea what she's on about, but I'm not on my own there. It's always the Liberal backbench, whenever you meet one of them in the corridors, is very keen to offer an assessment about not knowing what the Deputy Leader of the Opposition is on about. If the Deputy Leader of the Opposition has any real interest in assistance for Australian households, then let me advise her of this. If she's really interested in assistance for Australian households, she'll be supporting the government, because what her leader said today in a media press conference just shortly before question time, when he was asked about household assistance, he said this: it sort of defeats the purpose of making everything more expensive and it creates this giant money go-round. So, off the Leader of the Opposition's utterances to date, what we do understand is he thinks that a carbon tax is the simplest way to price carbon, and he's opposed to household compensation. That's what he said today. So if the Leader of the Opposition's Deputy Leader of the Opposition is genuinely interested in household compensation, she'll be endorsing the government's position. On the question of foreign aid, what I can say to the Deputy Leader of the Opposition is the government will make its own decisions. You'll get yours from One Nation.
Order. I remind the Deputy Leader of the Opposition that she was warned earlier. So that's one more warning than she really needs today, and if she continues to interject, she will be dealt with. I think I recognise the member for Lyne. The member for Lyne.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, in light of media reports today of cross
there will be no carbon tax under the government I lead.
Certainly what we rejected is this hysterical allegation that somehow that we are moving towards a carbon tax from the Liberal and their advertising. We certainly reject that.